Hello and welcome back, everybody. Back to another video. I'm your Sim CFI, which means that I'm your certified flight instructor for simulator use. If you have any questions on any sim, just please feel free to leave a comment and I'll get back to it. If I don't know the answer, I'll try to get someone who does. I also fly this plane in real life as well, so if you have any questions on the RJ or how to get started in the airline world or how to get started as a pilot in general, leave that down below as well. So today I want to very quickly touch on green needle versus white needle navigation in the CRJ specifically. What is it? What's the difference? And how does it play into the fact of tracking inbound on a localizer and glide slope? So currently, if I go to my PFD, you'll notice that I'm paused, first of all, but secondly, we're in white needle navigation. We have FMS2 and we have white text with white compass rose and a white needle. This is FMS navigation. Therefore, if you're trying to get an approach, if you're trying to get a localizer or glide slope indication, you're not going to get it in this type of navigation source. So the CRJ has two ways to transition from white to green. White being FMS navigation, and green being VOR, ILS, ADF, anything else you'll need. So for an ILS, you're going to need green needle. So the way that you can do it in the non-next gen, the non-NG variant of the 900 CRJ, or any CRJ, the non-NGs, is manually switch both sides with the nav source knob here to green. And what that would look like is this. Let me back myself up. Okay. So we're going to go inwards. I'm going to scroll this way to get green, so towards yourself. And I'd have to do it on the other side as well. Now we're both in green needle navigation. You'll notice I get a glide slope indication there in green, and I'll get a localizer once it starts to come in there as well. And once I click approach, it will arm the localizer glide slope and capture the localizer and glide slope. So I'll pause there. So that's one way you can do it. Now, I believe Aerosoft actually models the NG, which that works, or you can also do the auto-nav to nav transfer, which means it's going to automatically change from white to green once the localizer has been captured. I've noticed in the Aerosoft, one side may go green and one side stays white sometimes. So just be careful with that. If it doesn't track inbound correctly, make sure both sides are set to green and or both sides set to white. For example, if you're doing an RNAV approach, you're going to want both sides on white needles. If you're doing a ILS approach, you're going to want both sides to be green needles. So we're going to try the auto-nav to nav transfer, but if you want to do the first method, just select both the green needles on each side, press the approach button right over here, and you'd get it should say Loc 2 glide slope armed, and then once it goes green, it captures it and it'll fly inbound for you and follow the glide slope. So now I'm going to go back to white needle on this side as well, both on white side, and I'm going to click approach right there. You can see it should say Loc 2, but in the sim it says Loc 0 is armed and glide slope is armed. So as I keep flying straight, Loc 0 should become captured, and you should see this needle flip to green and that needle flip to green, both sides, both PFDs. Again, you can manually change it, and I recommend in sim, whenever you get radar vectored for an ILS approach, they'll say turn heading, blah, 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 vectors for ILS. I manually just go to green. It's a lot easier in the sim. Real world, you can do it auto-nav to nav as long as you brief the other guy that you're doing that, but usually people just switch it on manually to green. It's just easier because you're in control of it. So here we're getting closer to Lisdu. I'm going to give myself less of a turn there, just so it's a bit easier for the localizer to capture. You'll see we have a blue preview ILS and a localizer and a blue preview glide slope. Once it turns green is when we're actually in the ILS mode. So there it is. Loc 0 is captured, green needle, and the other side is green needle. So that method works too, and you can see it's turning inbound to capture from my 2-4 left right there at Toronto Pearson. Okay, so that's my very quick tutorial on white versus green needle in the CRJ, what it means, what they do, and just a quick recap. Green needle is VOR, ILS, localizer approach, ADF approach, or if you're just tracking between ADF and VORs, you're going to be in green as well. And then everything else FMS/GPS, you're going to be in the white needles. White needles is FMS navigation, so it's going to follow the box. So RNAV approach is all white needles. So RNAV being LPV, LNAV, VNAV, LNAV approach, any of those is all flown with white needles. Everything else is green. So I hope that settled it between how to switch between green and white and what they do. If this helped, please leave a like. Please leave a comment saying it did help and what you learned. I'd like to know that if it's people are actually learning some stuff, it's nice, and I can focus on different topics if people don't really find anything interesting. And share it with your friends. If other people fly the CRJ, give them this video and have them look it over. It should make everything a lot cleaner while flying in VATSIM, rather than wondering why it's not turning or what needle it got to be in, all that kind of stuff. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.